If you feel like you're lacking motivation and you can't seem to get it back and your progress is falling short because of it, this video is for you. Most hockey players, most athletes only use one or a couple metrics to measure their progress, and it sets them up for failure long term, especially if it's something like only measuring it by saves, only measuring it by how much you score, or only measuring it by how much your team wins. Those are all dangerous games to play, especially when it comes to the off season and you don't have those reinforcements to continue to measure your progress. So in this video, I'm going to show you tools and tactics that will give you so many ways to win, so many ways to measure your progress, that your progress becomes a self-fulfilling cycle and you no longer need motivation as the tool to get you to progress. To illustrate that, I want to share a story with you from my life. So recently, I've finished my third marathon. And in this marathon, my finish time for this marathon was 40 minutes slower than my next worst finish time. So I've run a couple marathons around the 4:20 mark. This marathon was over 5 hours. Now, if you were only measuring my finish time as to whether this marathon was a success or not, objectively, you would say that I had failed. Yet when I finished this marathon, I felt it had been the most successful I had ever run. Now, why is that? Well, because when we look at the whole picture, when we give ourselves more ways to win, we allow ourselves to feel that success, even if not everything lines up to what it would look like a win. So what had happened with this marathon was when I set out, my goals for this marathon were to finish with a smile on my face rather than in pain, and to support my wife through her first marathon. And there's so much more to it than that. So being that this was my third marathon, this was also my third attempt at running a marathon with my wife. It was also the first time we'd ever made it to the start line together. So before I'd even started the race, the day felt like a win. Because the first time we went to run, my wife was pregnant, and she was 21 weeks pregnant at the time of the first marathon. The doctor said, no, you can't run a marathon. It's too much for your body. The most you can do is a half, if anything. So I stayed committed to the full marathon. She ran the half. And after running the half marathon, she had a lot left in the tank. She felt like she'd wasted a lot of her training and that she could have done the full. So she left that that half marathon with resentment, while I left it with the gratitude of having completed my first. A year later, she's no longer pregnant. She's now about 6 months postpartum. And we signed up for another one because from the previous year, we are dead set. We're gonna run a marathon together. This is the goal. The night before the marathon, she's up all night, getting sick, no sleep, so dehydrated. There's not a chance she can go and run a marathon. She couldn't have even got to the car to drive to the marathon, let alone then run 40 kilometers. So I got up and we built a whole trip around it. So I felt compelled that I still had to run it. And so I finished my second marathon again by myself. So this time, she's now pregnant again, further along in her pregnancy than she was the first time. She was 25 weeks at this time of the race. And she said, no, my body is built for this. I'm capable, I can do this. And I want to run a marathon together. So my reaction to that was absolutely, how can I support you? So my goals for this marathon were, I wanted to be in good enough shape that she never had to worry about me. I could fully support her. I wanted to finish with a smile on my face rather than in pain. And I wanted to fully support my wife through the journey so that we could start and finish together. And all three of those boxes were checked regardless of the finish time. I'm actually so proud of her, so proud that I got to be part of that day, so proud that it took 3 tries over the span of more than 2 years to accomplish this feat that we'd set out together. Regardless of being pregnant or not, regardless of traveling, we were both healthy at the start line. It was a really powerful day. And hearing that, I'm so grateful for the experience outside of the finish time. But I use this story to illustrate the idea that if you had only looked at the finish times, you would go, what the heck happened? Why was Kenny in such horrible shape this year? Did he get injured on the course? Did he get sick? What happened? No, he got to play an amazing support role for his pregnant wife to run her first marathon and support her throughout the journey through times where she thought she wasn't going to finish. So bringing that back to our sport, our athletic career, our academic career, when we only look at 1 or 2 metrics to win, it gets very easy to ride that wave of confidence when things are going well and have nothing to fall back on when they're not. And I see this in so many young athletes where they feel great when they're scoring. Yeah, I had a point per game. I had 6 points in 4 games. I had 4 assists on the weekend on a huge high. Oh man, vice versa. Man, I haven't scored in 2 weeks. I'm a terrible player. Things aren't clicking for me. I'm not having fun with hockey right now. And it's because they only have points to determine as their measuring stick of progress. So instead, my challenge to you is to shift the belief from outcomes of only getting points to multiple outcomes and also inputs, right? So instead of only points or only goals, maybe it's points, maybe it's goals, assists, plus minus, team wins. Maybe it's minimizing goals against if defensive responsibility is something more important to you right now, which it always should be. But then even outside of that, if you don't have games to play, let's look at what we can improve on, what we can work on outside of the game. Maybe we're practicing a certain skill in practice, and our level of confidence with that specific skill or with that specific area on the ice is improving. Outside of games, outside of points. Maybe it's neutral zone transitions, maybe it's puck retrievals, maybe it's receiving awkward passes on the wall or supporting the puck well on a breakout or transition. All very valuable skills that don't necessarily show up on a score sheet. Maybe it's as a defenseman, maybe it's playing a tighter gap, maybe it's playing the role of counting how many pucks you can force dumps rather than carries so that you can just retrieve pucks instead of play defense, focusing on a tight gap. There are so many ways to win on the ice in the game outside of points. You don't only need points to show yourself that you're improving. But even outside of that, then we get into the micro skills of our nutrition, of our sleep, of our habits, of our school, of our chores, of our relationships. Maybe you have a sibling that you haven't seen eye to eye with. Can you get along with your sibling for an entire week? Can you be a leader and show them, how you want that relationship to go without being demanding or like I'm the older sibling or having a power struggle? It's not a power struggle, it's leadership. This is how I want to be treated. This is how I'm going to treat you with respect, of course. Maybe it's school where you're handing in every assignment on time. And you can bring that down into inputs as well. You're putting in an hour of day of studying, 60-minute timer, start the clock. Even if you don't have homework, you can catch up, you can get ahead. And when you get ahead, you can continue to build the habit by exploring your curiosity and learning about what you want to learn about to keep the habit strong or to build the habit for when school becomes more demanding in the future. And anything that I encourage you to try or challenge you to try is keep track, give yourself a streak, measure yourself with your progress. How do I feel today? How am I doing? Is this improving? And be intentional about it and find ways to measure it. And if you start to do that in every area of your life, very quickly you will realize it's easier to stay on that high because a weekend without scoring can't bring you down because you have so many other things in your life that you are working on, you're progressing towards, that the lack of goals then becomes such a small piece. So in closing, the more ways you have to win, the more ways you have to measure your progress, the more ways you can win, and the less you have to rely on simply scoring goals or that single metric that you care about to feel like you're progressing or feel like you're doing a good job. And this is a huge step in the direction of getting off the roller coaster of high confidence when things are going well and low confidence when things aren't. The more ways you have to win, the more sustainable and solid your confidence will become, and the less it will be rattled and shaken by single small events. That's it for this video. If you haven't already subscribed, please click the subscribe button. So that YouTube knows to tell you that we've released another video and you don't miss the next one. That's it for this one. I'll see you in the next video.